Hey guys, it's Kayla here, and I'm really excited to share this video with you today. It's been a hot minute since I've seen you guys, but yeah, there's been a lot going on, but I have some really awesome news that I want to share with you guys. I've been really looking forward to making this video one day, and it is now the time. So recently I had my annual urologist appointment. So that's kind of the setup. So I'm trying to make myself comfortable here. My knees are on the floor. Okay, that's better. So let's go back a little bit before I actually tell you what happened. So 10 years ago, in a matter of about 6 weeks, I was hospitalized twice with urinary tract infections, and I also was taken by ambulance to the hospital due to really severe kidney stones that basically, like, I woke up in the middle of the night and ended up passing out due to the pain. So this was 10 years ago. At the time, the first urinary tract infection, they gave me a round of antibiotics that weren't strong enough, so I had 2 rounds of antibiotics, and it ended up coming back. So it was super intense. I don't normally take anything, so it was, you know, something that I don't normally like to do, but I kind of had to in that situation because I was kind of stuck. And with the kidney stones, when I was released to go home, I was given Percocets. I remember taking one of them, and I had to peel myself off of the couch to run to the bathroom to throw up. So I didn't end up actually taking any more of those, and decided that laying on the couch still in pain, but still like non-moving, was a lot better than taking the perks and a good chance that I would have to get up and just run and throw it up anyway. So that was fun. So shortly after that, they had me go for an ultrasound and found that I had kidney stones. I never really knew about kidney stones until this happened, and I started to do research. Just like when most things happen to my body, I tend to research on exactly what is going on. So I learned that 90% of kidney stones are calcium, like calcium deposits, kind of like calcium collecting. And that was kind of all that happened from that. There was no follow-up from there. It was just kind of stopped. So now let's go back 3 years ago. For those that have been watching my channel for a while, I have had a past for like almost 20 years of frequent, sometimes chronic, all day, every day, all night, every night, bloating and intestinal spasms and all of this awesome stuff. So 3 years ago, I went to my doctor. I didn't want to get any more, you know, internal tests done, but I wanted to make sure that there was nothing structurally wrong. So she sent me for a full abdominal ultrasound. And even though I was chronically experiencing this bloating, it was more than just like, oh, I eat a little bit too much. It was like people asking me how far along I was, like pretty significant bloating. Anyway, the intestines looked totally fine, but they did notice, because they did like a full, like everything from, yeah, like basically my entire trunk, and looked at all of the organs. And she ended up finding something in my kidneys, because ultrasound techs can't technically tell you anything, even though they're basically diagnosing you on the spot. So anyway, I find out very, very soon after that there are both stones and cysts in my kidneys, and within, it was probably in less than 10 days, I was in to see a urologist. When I went to the urologist waiting room, I was the only young female. I was probably the only female in there waiting to see the urologist, and I was also the only young person. It was basically like a room of grandpas. So it was a little, yeah, it was a little interesting because I was not the typical demographic that would end up going to see a specialist like that. But urologist works with everything, urinary tract, kidneys, as well as I think they do a lot of like prostate work, which I don't have one of those, so I don't know too much about. So anyway, very soon after, I was sent there. So I think this would have been, if it's 2018, I think this would have been December 2015, I believe is when it would have been. And he told me that there were several cysts on each kidney and that he suspected I had it has two names, either medullary sponge kidney or CACCHI-RICCI disease. CACCHI-RICCI, CACCHI-RICCI. I can't remember what the disease name is. But anyway, basically the tissue of the kidneys develops incorrectly or just in a different way from birth. This is what they believe, or it's been proven, I'm not sure. Anyway, the only way to prove that I actually have this disease is to do a tissue sample. But I really didn't want to be cut open just to prove that I had something. And then I give myself a label and then I'm drawing that energy to me, right? So anyway, that first appointment, they wanted to see me again in 6 months. The assistant or the intern that was working with the doctor, I said to him, I'm like, okay, is there anything I can do to like, you know, halt the progression of these cysts or just to kind of keep my kidneys healthy? And he gave me 4 things. And I think I talked about this in a previous video, but it's been a while. So first thing, typical, drink lots of water. Everyone should do that. Perfect. The next thing, reduce animal protein intake. I was just about to fully transition to a vegan diet, but I've been primarily like 95% vegan for probably like the previous, I don't know how much time, a long time. So those 2 things, so water, reduce protein, consume citrus, so like lemon juice in my water, which helps to actually break down the calcium deposits, the kidney stones. And I think it was like eating alkaline. There was a 4th thing and I can't remember what it was now. I think it was just like eating like more fruits and vegetables, eating alkaline, because being alkaline is really, really beneficial to the kidneys, which are dealing with they're basically in control of the electrolyte balance in your body. So not to get too sciencey on you. So anyway, I went for a 6-month follow-up. So I had my ultrasound again, went to see him. Everything seemed to be the same. So he said, okay, you know what? I'll see you again in a year. So then we did that again and everything seemed to be good still. And so I think it was last week, we had another annual follow-up, and again, absolutely no change. So I have been stable with no progression since I've been monitored. I guess it was 3.5 years ago that they started monitoring me, and he has cleared me as a patient. I believe it's probably because he's not going to get a surgery out of me. But basically he said I don't need to go see him anymore because I am symptom-free. I've been symptom-free for like over a decade. The biggest symptoms that you see with medullary sponge kidney is either, well, both urinary tract infections and kidney stones. And I had those in the past, but they've been halted basically since I've been on a primarily plant-based diet, which is pretty awesome. So to make this like 10-minute story, you know, to summarize, this is just like, I guess, me sharing how awesome this is. And the advice they gave me for the kidneys, I mean, it's not like there's like the kidney diet and there's like the brain diet and there's the this and there's that. Anyway, I'm feeling really excited that I have eliminated this one element. I was really worried about this appointment because the ultrasound technician was saying how there was a lot going on with my kidneys. So basically my goal from this point forward, in addition to taking care of my thyroid, with my kidneys, I'm hoping that as I continue to eat a primarily raw food diet, sometimes I'm all raw, sometimes I'm mostly raw, but I am mostly raw as a foundation, that those cysts will begin to shrink now that they've been stable for a couple years. I'm hoping that a year from now they'll actually start to shrink in size, but I am thrilled to be symptom-free. I'm super excited that my specialist has released me as a patient. Gives me back like a couple hours of my afternoon, and just wanted to share that the plant-based, not just eating vegan, don't eat it just because there's no animal products in it, but please take care of your body and yourself, and put yourself first ahead of all of it. Do it for you first. Follow a vegan, plant-based diet for you, and then for the animals and the planet. But if we don't put ourselves first, who's going to? So make those choices at each meal as best as you can. I have been wanting to eat terrible things for a while, and I'm like, you know what? First, I'll have this smoothie. First, I'll have this salad. First, I'll have this bowl of fruit. And sometimes I'll have, like last night I had a little bit of popcorn. But I made sure that I got the nutrition in first so that my body had the tools it needed to actually take care of itself after consuming those things when those things arise. Because we're not perfect, but we can have those conversations with ourselves. So anyway, if you guys have been watching me for a while, you know that I have a tendency to just ramble on. So I'm gonna end this video here with a little Yahoo. I'm so excited. I feel like this is like such a big victory in the healing journey. And if you like this video, give me a thumbs up. If you have any questions about exactly what I did along the way, there were some other things that I did to kind of help along this journey, send me a message or comment down below. And if anybody's going to Woodstock Fruit Festival, I will see you there in less than 2 weeks. Have an awesome day, guys. I'll see you so soon. Bye.